Yep. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the stream right now. It looks like they're all from different sets on your deck, which is kind of strange. Okay. All right. Yeah, so something the ones that say SkyScape starter deck, those are the ones that you should have. A few of them are not though. That's strange. Huh. Yeah, because all of mine are showing the updated ones. Okay. Okay, I'm sure that if you need to, you can just type in Skyscape starter deck, put all the cards into the deck, and then there's just a couple that are like one or two copies and stuff like that. So I'm sure on that list it could tell you. That, that is weird. I'm looking at it right now, and it shows some of them are just on different sets. All right, I'd say just go into card search and type Skyscape starter deck because that should probably be the better option. It's again, this is strange. Yeah, at least this isn't like the other eTableCon live stream. We went to go play a game of Untap, and between me and Zyphine, and the entire game just crashed like 2 minutes into playing. So glad that's not the thing that happened. No, I updated them from the older ones. So the ones that say starter deck should be the one that you're using. That's again, this is a strange predicament. Yeah, yep for all right. So let's see. Um, so everything should be at four except for Dagger of Blood should be at three. Devastating Rage should be at two. Angel's Remnant should be at three. Treasured Egg should be at two. Stone of Crimson Blood should be at two. Destructive Force of Rage Kin should be at 2. Tome of Forbidden Knowledge will be at 2. Crimson Soul Barriers at 3. Barrage of Bloods at 2. And then Miracle is at 1. And then for the separate deck, the Berserker, I think that one should be updated too. It looks like that one is. What's the Berserker for you? Is that like the older version or? The newer version should be like a purple kind of background with a red character. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go back into all the older files and just give them pictures of the newer ones, just because. Right, but yeah, I think deck's all updated for you, so that's a good sign. Nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, and let's see here. What's your current deck count actually? Because I okay. Okay, let's see here. I think I forgot to put in one small card. Let's see, where is it? Um, okay. All right. Minor deck edit. Just to make the main deck 50. Okay. Um, you have your deck list open? Okay, just bump up. Let's see here. Bump up Dagger of Blood to 4. Let's see here. Bump up Stone of Crimson Blood to 4, and then Crimson Cell Barrier to 4. And that should put us both at 50. Okay. All right. Yep, okay. Now everything should be good. Yep, and then, let's see here. Boop. Okay. Game should be starting up in just a few seconds here. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and should be up and ready to go. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, nice. Awesome. Heck yeah, dude. Alright, so we're each gonna start off a game by drawing 6 cards, and a little fun fact is each of the 6 cards represents each of the 6 different types of kin. So on the card backs, you see that little design there, and there's the one big symbol with the 6 that are circling it, and each of those are the different magics or different kin. So you draw 1 card for each. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll take the first turn just to explain a couple of rules to the viewers. Oh, is there anything? What were we saying? So each of our decks have 50 cards in them. The card copy limit is 50. You also have a separate deck, which can have up to 20 cards, but for this game, we're only playing a summon deck of 4 cards that has the same exact card in it 4 times over. It's just a very, very simple starter deck that we're using. But something really interesting about this game that makes it really unique is you see that our life total is 50 for each of us, and each of the cards that we're going to be playing reduces our life total in some way. So that's the big mechanic of this game is finding combos for cards that you're going to be playing, balancing out the life that you're spending versus the damage you'd be taking, and other combos that your opponent could be playing as well. And there's 4 main different types of cards in the main deck. I will get to those when we play them. But starting off the game, I'll spend 1 life, and I'll play a weapon card. So this little card right here is a weapon. You can tell that it's a weapon because it is a red bordered card. Also, there's a little sword icon in the center. And just going over the layout of the card, as you can see on the top left, there's a little number that says 1. That's the life cost of the card. That basically says how much life you need to spend from your total life in order to play it. So that's why my life total went down from 50 to 49, because I'm playing this card. It's also a blood type. You can see that on the left side of the icon, and then on the right you see this little thing that says one-handed. So in this game, when you play your weapon cards or your shield cards, that goes into a little area called the arsenal zone. And for your arsenal, very similar to how real life works, you have 2 hands to play things. So that means that you can have 2 one-handed cards in this zone, or 1 two-handed card. And then also you can see the big text box. There's no effect on this. It's just got some flavor text, just a bit of story. But on the very bottom, there's a number, a little 3. That stands for the fatality of that weapon. And fatality is basically the attack points of that card, how much damage it can deal. So this is a pretty strong offensive card, costs only 1 life and can deal 3 damage, so that's pretty powerful. But for my next move, I will spend 2 more life, and I will bring out a copy of Iron Gauntlet. Now, this is not a weapon, this is a shield, and how you can tell is it's a blue outline for the card. There's also a shield icon in the center, and this one cost 2 life on the top left, which is why I spent 2 life, so now I'm at 47. And then it's also iron type and one-handed. And it has a small effect just involving cards that would be attached to it, but at the moment, there's no real effects that I can use with it. But the number at the bottom, that little 3, that is the card's endurance. Now this is where red weapons and blue shields are different. Weapons can only attack, and they have that attack number called fatality. Shields can only defend, and they have that little number at the bottom, which is the card's endurance. So endurance is the blocking number, and that's pretty much it for weapons and shields. Again, effects can vary, but each of these don't really have any main effects I can use right now. And continuing on, since I do have a varied hand, I will play over to the left, right here. I will play a relic card. Now you can tell that a card's a relic because it is a brown layered card, and also there is a relic icon in the center of it, a little chalice. And relic cards are unique because you can only have 1 in play at once, and they go right over here to the left in the relic zone. And as you can see, relics don't have a life cost. They're a bit unique. Instead, they have a number at the bottom. For example, this is a 2. And what this is this is the activation cost. So the activation cost of a relic is an amount of life that you have to play in order to activate its once per turn effect. So this card's once per turn effect is once per turn, I can increase target weapon's fatality by 2 until end of turn. So this is, again, an offensive card, and it makes sense because both of these decks, we're using the same exact one. Both of these are supposed to be very offensive in playstyle. And also to the right of the icon, that you see that it says single use. What this means is that, say I activate the effect, and I pay the activation cost. This card, it is a single-use card, meaning after I use it once, it goes into the discard pile, or in this game, it's called the severed pile. And if a card is ever put from the field to the severed pile, it is considered it is considered severed. So if anything ever leaves the field, it's severed and it goes to the severed pile. Also, there's one more type of main deck card, and that is these green cards. I don't know if they're if any are in Chris's hands right now, but there's these green cards which are Arcane cards, and those are basically effects that you can play in the game. So in our decks, we have a bunch of response arcanes, and you can tell that a card is response because it says response to the right of the icon. But arcane cards are green, and they have a little purple vortex icon in the center. And those are basically just effects that you can play throughout the game. And whenever you play an arcane card, it would go right here. This is the casting zone. After you play it, it gets severed and goes into your discard pile or your severed pile. And with that, there's also another type, which we're running. It's a gold card, but I don't think we're at that stage just yet. When one of us gets it, I'll explain more on that. But that's basically the gist on cards so far, and I'll explain more as we go. But with that, that will be the end of my turn.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. So going into my turn now, because that's quite a lengthy conversation, introduction to your cards and stuff like that. Someone did point out that we had a problem with my microphone not working. Obviously, it was picking up your voice, but not mine. So I've just had to, while you were talking, quickly unplug it and plug it back in, which always seems to rectify the problem. And it's now working perfectly fine. Okay, so we're moving on to my turn. So, like Jared said, we can play relic cards. So we draw one card per turn, don't we?
Yes, you draw one card at the start of your turn. You don't draw a card if it's your first turn.
The initial turn, yeah.
But if you're going second, you can draw a card.
Okay. Yeah, so we draw a card per turn. I'm going to leave these 4 cards open at the bottom because that is the summon deck, so we can always use them for reference. We can play a relic card for free then, obviously. Let's see. See, I did have a plan of action, but I've just drawn into something which kind of made that action pretty pointless. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a relic and give it out for free. So obviously you can play relics now for free, however I've got to use its ability, I've got to pay 2 life. And when I do, I can increase the character summon's rune count by 2 until the end of the turn. If it just happens to be a Rage King character, you can also add a one-handed weapon from your body to your hand. So that's quite useful. Now, I'm going to play... Can you attack on first turn, yeah?
If you're going second, you can attack, yes. If you're going first, you can't attack on your first turn.
Okay.
But yep, you are in a position to attack if you want to.
Do I have a shield? But I do. Ooh, I'm clicking things I shouldn't be clicking. Right, so I'm gonna... Where's that shield gone? Maybe I shouldn't play that. Oh well. Right, okay, so I'm gonna pay 1 life to get out a Claws of Crimson one-handed. Then I'm going to pay another life to get out a second Claws of Crimson because they are 2 one-handed weapons. Then I'm going to summon by sending these 2 to the face down pile. Just let me know if I'm doing this wrong or not. To summon out the summon deck, the Berserker.
Okay. Yep, you are doing it right. The only small note that I have is he did send them to the face down pile. The wording in SkyScape is sending to the void. So sending to the void is removing the card from the game, and you can have cards removed from the game face up or face down, and right now he has them face down.
Okay, yep. Okie dokie, and then let's have a look, see. I'm gonna. So now my shields, because of the Berserker being on play, my shields can now attack. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do attack, they gain 2 endurance until the end of the turn, which gives them a little buff. So I'm going to pay a further 2 life to get out the Enchanted Shield of Crimson, which is a free cost. When this card is on the when it's severed, it gains 1 life. So that's only when it dies.
Yep, and then also just a quick side note looking at the Berserker card. This is a summon card. Summon cards are either gold or purple. This is purple, this is a void summon. The bottom of this card has a little 3 number. That is called the card's rune count. Rune count counts as both its attack strength and defense strength. And also, whenever you play a summon card, that summon card gets its own arsenal zone. So now he can have his 2 one-handed cards on his field, and then he can also attach an additional 2 one-handed cards to his summon card.
Okay, okay.
And there's a bit of boosting attack strength and all that kind of stuff that comes with that, but just explaining that for new viewers and whatnot.
Yep. Okay, I'll pay a further 1 life to get out a Dagger of Blood, so I've got 2 one-handed weapons in play. I will equip the Dagger of Blood onto the Berserker, that's correct.
Okay.
Do you need to tap it, or do you just leave it beneath the Berserker when it's equipped?
You leave it beneath, and when you have a card attached to a summon card, if you attack, you would usually just attack with the Berserker. However, since you have a card attached to it, you can tap both cards, meaning turn both of them to the side, and you can boost the attack.
Yep.
So if you boosted the attack, that would be 3 damage from the Berserker plus the 3 damage from Dagger of Blood, equaling a total of 6 damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And then I think I'm gonna go all out, and
for the treasured eggs, that has to be a character summon, and this is a bit of specifics on cards. Is that the Berserker is a void summon.
Oh, so yeah, so you
void
get 2 types of
summons are
summons.
purple,
Yeah.
and then the character summons are gold. I don't think we've got a character summon out yet in either of our hands, but when we do, I'll explain more about that.
Right, okay, so I can't use treasured eggs on the Berserker because it's a void one. Right, okie dokie. So
You're still in a great position though, in amazing board state. So.
So I think I'm gonna attack with. I'm gonna boost the Berserker with the sword, and I'm gonna attack with the shield because the Berserker allows the shield to attack.
Okay. Now, for combat, for those wondering, he just decided to attack with all of his cards. How combat works is when you declare an attack, you can decide to attack a player or a summon card that they control. I have no summon cards, so it would be attacking me directly. Now, at this point, I do have a shield right here, so I can choose to either block the attack, or I can take it directly. So, let's see. There's a total of 6 damage coming from that, and 3 damage coming from that. What I think I will do is I will I will block the attack with my Iron Gauntlet. When you block, you also turn the card sideways just to show what you're blocking with. And I will block the Berserker boosted attack. Now what happens here is he has 6 attack damage going to my 3 defending shield, so my shield would be severed, but since it's blocking for me, I take no damage.
Okay, and what about the shield? What the shield deal?
And then the shield does deal 3 damage directly to me because I have nothing to block with.
Okay, okay. And
so my life would go down to 40.
Okay, and can these units defend on your turn now that they've attacked on my turn?
So now that they're attacked, they are called, or they are referred to being exhausted. Yeah. So in this game, you don't use the term tap, it's called exhausting. Since his shield is exhausted, and since everything he has is exhausted, I could now declare a direct attack on him, or a direct attack on his summon card.
Okay, so that's the end of my turn, and I'll pass it over to you.
Okay, so I will draw a card now. And about boosting, at the end of the turn, if it's already attacked, the boost goes back down to normal, so now the Berserker would be at 3. Yep, and let's see here. Okay, I will spend, let's see here, I'll spend 1 life, and I will bring out a Blood Spike. And from here, I will declare an attack. So, because I can choose what I'd like to attack, I will use the Claw of Crimson to attack at your summon card, and then I will use the Blood Spike to attack you directly for 3.
Oh, okay. So, my Berserk would die and deal no damage to your Claws of Crimson, correct?
So how the combat works is since the Berserker has a blocking strength of 3, and the Claws of Crimson has an attack strength of 3, they would equal each other, and both would be severed.
They will be traded. Right, okay, okay. And this one-handed weapon of mine would just fall to the ground back into the arsenal zone.
If it's attached, it would be severed as well.
It would go as well, yeah, okay.
And
okay.
There is an effect that he has actually, so.
Yeah, so it's got when this card is severed, when it dies, return this card to its owner's body and have that player gain 1 life. So that will go back, I'm guessing, to the bottom of the deck.
It gets shuffled into the deck, so it can be anywhere.
Okay, I think I can only choose top or bottom, so if I move it to the bottom, and then shuffle the deck.
Yep.
Okay. And then gain 1 life off that, I believe, yeah. Oh, okay. So then that has killed off, so the Claws of Crimson has traded with the Berserker. And then the Blood Spike will go straight to the player. Okay.
So now we're both tied at 43 life, and with that, I'll have to pass the turn to you.
Okay, okay. Would your Claws of Crimson be in your severed pile?
Oh, yes, it would.
There we go. Okay, so I'll draw for turn. Sorry, we refresh the shield, don't we?
Oh, yes. So the turn order, that is very important. Turn order is you draw a card, and then you enter recovery phase. Recovery phase, you just turn all of your exhausted cards upright again, so you can attack with them again. Then you have main phase where you can play cards, battle phase where you can battle, a second main phase to play any more cards that you want to, and then the end of the turn.
Right, okay, okay. So now my shield can no longer attack because we don't have the Berserker in play, so it can only be used as a defender. So I can't really play much else at the time for the time being. In fact, yes, I can.
Another interesting thing is is for relic cards that you have. You can get rid of the current relic that you have to play another one. It doesn't cost any life, you're just replacing it. And a very, very good card in the deck, I don't know if you have it right now, but it's Angel's Remnant. You can use it to search your deck for a card that's a weapon or a shield, and then you can spend life equal to the life cost of that, and then add that to your hand. So you can kind of deck thin,
yeah,
and then search for cards that you do.
Okay, tell you what then. Yeah, funnily enough, I do actually have one of them Angel's Remnants. So I would send the treasure decks would get severed. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then that puts that in. So once per turn, you can pay X life. So I think I'll pay 1 life to search for a weapon cost of 1. You get rid of that would send that to the severed. So if I can find. Come on, load up. Why can I not see? There we go. There's a bit of lag on the game there. So, a weapon of 1. It's looking for the same as what's out now. Come on, where are you? Started and then right clicked and it got rid of it. That's a nice look out. See your hand. Okay. Okie dokie. And I will. So the weapon can attack, but the shield cannot.
And another interesting thing, just to make a quick note of, yes, you might be asking, since he was able to replace the relic, can you replace weapon and shields? Yes, you can. So, say for example, he had a 2-handed weapon or a 2-handed shield. He'd get rid of both of his 1-handed cards and play that. Since this deck just has a bunch of 1-handed cards in it, though, if he wanted to bring out another weapon, he could get rid of the shield and play the weapon, or anything that he wants to, but it's all up to him for lines of play and stuff. I'd recommend having a weapon and shield card down if you can, but it's just however you want to play the game.
Yeah. So I think what I might do is I might try and get a bit of damage in now. You get 2 main phases, don't you? So
yep, you get the first main phase, then battle, then main phase 2, then main phase.
Yeah, so what I think I'm gonna do is pay the 1 to play the recently searched Dagger of Blood, which will replace the shield. So when that shield gets severed, I gain 1 life. So I'll put that back up to that. It's basically free play Dagger of Blood. And then attack you directly with the 2 daggers.
Okay. And I don't have a summon card or anything, and I don't have any shields, so I'd have to take that directly.
Yep. And then in the second main phase, am I allowed to send both Exhausted to the Void to play a Void Summon?
Yes, you can.
Okie dokie. So face down to play out the Berserker. And then I will end my turn.
Alright. And that's actually a really good move because summon cards can block attacks for you. So if I were to attack and you were to just block, they both trade off.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So let's see here. Okay. I will pay 1 life and bring out a Dagger of Blood of my own. And then I will activate my relic, spending 2 life. And I'll target a weapon I have and increase its fatality by 2. So now I will target the Dagger of Blood and increase it to 5 until the end of the turn. And I'll go into battle attempt to attack directly with both.
With both. Ooh, okay.
Yep, and your summon card can only block one of them, so it's up to you.
Now, I'm in a bit of a predicament because if I don't block, if I do block, I'm going to lose the Berserker. I'm going to leave myself open for next turn, whereas I can kind of chance and gamble with the damage and see if I draw into a weapon or shield next turn. So I think I'm going to gamble it and take the 8 damage.
Okay. Yep, and this is definitely where the strategy comes down, because usually in other games you don't have to worry about losing your own life when you play stuff. So you just say, okay, I can afford to take that, and I'll combo off next turn.
Yeah.
Now you have to worry about, oh, am I going to have enough life after?
Yeah.
So makes it very interesting. Yeah, and after that, let's see here. You know what? For sake of mirror match, I will actually summon a copy of. Let's see. Where is the face down file? Right here. I'll actually summon out my own copy of the Berserker during my second main phase.
Yep.
So let's see. So we'll bring out a copy of Berserker, and then, let's see here, I will pass my turn.
Alright. That's my turn, so I will draw for turn. Okay. So I'm going to pay 2 life for a weapon. And then attach it to my Berserker. When it's on the field, so it's when it's when it's severed, I gain 1 life. So,
and yep, that's another theme of this overarching or of this deck, because it is very offensive, but you also have the perks and bonuses of just being able to recover life and kind of cycle cards.
okay. So I'm gonna boost my Berserker with the. Can you do that? Can you boost it with a shield?
Yes, because the Berserker allows you to attack with shields as if they were weapons, so yeah, you can do that.
Okay, which will buff up my Berserker to 6. And then I will attack with my Berserker.
Okay. This puts me in a bit of a predicament, because do I want the Berserker next turn, or do I want to... I think I'm going to take it.
Oof. Big chunk of health right there.
Yep.
Okay, and then I will pass the turn over to you.
Okay. Alright, so I will draw 1 card. Okay. Alright. Oh, actually, so on the Berserker, it actually has another effect where when a shield you control would attack, it gains 2 endurance. So actually that attack would be 8, so I'd take 2 more damage.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. Okay, so I'm at 26 right now. I just already drew a card for the turn, so recovery phase, don't have anything to recover, so right now, let's see here. Okay, might as well try to go all out, I guess. So I will spend 2 life to bring out a Blood Spike. I will spend 1 life to bring out Basic Buckler. And then I will attach the Blood Spike to the Berserker. I'll spend 1 more life to bring out a Crimson. And I will also attach the claws to the Berserker.
Oof.
And let's see here. Okay. So what I'll do from here is, let's see here. That's defending. That's that. Okay. So from here, I will activate my Stone of Crimson Blood. And the interesting thing here is for the basic buckler, the shield that I played, it has a unique effect called Hostile. And it says that a card with Hostile is treated as a weapon and may attack during the battle phase using its current endurance in place of Vitality, and it is also treated as a shield. So basic buckler is treated as a weapon, and I can target that with the Stone of Crimson Blood's effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I can bump this up to 4, and then just putting a couple of counters on my cards to keep track of numbers and whatnot. Alrighty, so now since all of your cards are exhausted, I will decide to attack with Basic Buckler,
Oof.
and also with the Berserker, and I will use the Basic Buckler to attack at your defenseless Berserker,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will also use my Berserker, which is boosted now by my 2 weapons, to attack at you for a total of 9 damage.
Crikey. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'll lose that. I gain 1 life when the shield is severed. And then I take 9 damage from your Berserker.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the fun begins, because now both of our life is starting to get really, really rough. Good news though is if you have any card that can attack for 3 damage or more, you can just clear off the Berserker, which is currently my biggest threat.
Yep.
But with that, I will pass the turn to you.
Okie dokie.
Oh, and another thing, another really quick side note. Some might be asking why I didn't summon another Berserker using my 2 weapons. Thing is, you can only have 1 summon card on the field with the same name. So if I were to try to summon, I'd have to get rid of the Berserker first, and also my weapons, and then play a new one. So just a quick little rule there, but that's my turn out of the way.
Okay, I will pay 2 life and try and get the Iron Gauntlet out.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I can do. So I'm not going to attack.
Okay. Alright. I will draw a card, and then for recovery phase, recover everything. Okay. So here. Okay, I guess the best thing that I can do would be spend 2 life from Stone of Crimson Blood, boost up the Buckler, and then try to swing with the 9 boosted, or with the 6 boosted Berserker for 9, and then the Buckler for 4 damage all at you.
Was that the same Stone of Crimson Blood from last turn, your last turn?
Oh, yes, good thing actually. So that would put that down to 2. I would gain 2 life. Good catch.
Judge. Okay.
But that is also an important thing. Always make sure that your relics are either single use or permanent. If that was permanent, it can stay.
Yep. Okay. So I could choose to block your shield with my shield.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually,
and then the cool thing is if you block my shield with your shield, both of those cards can stay. So you can potentially block for the next turn. Only thing there is you would be taking the 9 from the Berserker if you block that, So it's all up to you, whichever choice you want to make.
Oh, so yeah, 'cause so the gauntlet doesn't deal damage when it defends. It just kind of just absorbs.
It just kind of defends the attack.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's what? A tank for 9. So now I'll just take the 2 from the shield.
Okay, and actually, since the gauntlet is a 3 defense, let's see, they actually both trade off because usually shields don't deal damage. However, if a shield and a weapon are equal, they are both. Oh wait, actually, never mind.
He's chatting. Okay, so I lose my gauntlet.
Yep.
Okay, and that's blocked, so I just take the 2 damage from your buckler.
Yep. Okay. Yes. So now if you have a a 3 fatality weapon, you can clear off the berserker. Sorry, I was getting a bit too excited. All right, but yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay.
I'm surprised we haven't seen an Arcane yet. That's kind of interesting.
Okay, so I'll pay 1 and get Dagger of Blood out.
If you couldn't tell already, Dagger of Blood and Berserker are like the two poster cards in the deck.
Okay, I'll pass turn.
So you're just going straight into passing the turn, or?
Yeah, because I'll need a. Oh, actually, cause the dagger can't defend, can it? Next turn.
Because the Berserker can't defend the attack, so if you attack that with Dagger of Blood, Berserker would die, and then
Yeah,
basic buckler. Okay. Alrighty.
Game over. He's spectating the game.
Wait, who's spectating?
Someone called Game Over.
That's pretty funny. Okay.
Alright, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, I meant sure so.
Okay. We'll draw. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I'll spend 1 to bring out another basic buckler, and I want to play things safe. I'll just attack with one of them.
Okay, so obviously I can't defend, so I've got to take the 2.
And then I'll pass my turn.
Okay. I'll pay 1 and get out my own basic buckler.
Awesome.
And I will send both of them to the void, face down.
Berserker has to be blood type.
The iron type, sorry, yeah. So that was that, I see. So we both need to be blood type, okay. And I will try and attack your health with the buckler.
Okay. So I will take it.
And it's your turn.
Okay.
For some reason I keep thinking weapons can block.
If you want to, I'll let you take back the combat and swing with dagger or blood instead. just to I mean, this is like our like first, second game playing, so just all in the spirit of learning rules and stuff. If you want to, you can re-declare what you want to be attacking with.
It's alright, it'll teach me a lesson.
Alrighty.
Because I'll only get used to it otherwise.
Okay, recovery phase, recover the basic buckler, or rise is what it's called. So if it's sideways, it's exhaust. If it's going back to normal, it would be called a rise. So I think I'll just swing for 2.
Yep.
And I will pass it turn to you.
Okay, so that's a new one.
Oh, did you finally get a green Arcane card?
Maybe. Sorry, that should have been that way. Right, so I will attack with Dagger of Blood this time.
Okay. Let's see here. I will decide to block with my basic buckler.
So can I use a response card just before?
Yes, you can.
Sever a blocking card.
Okay, that one's actually a really good card. So that is an Arcane card. It's green, and in the center there's a little purple vortex symbol. The little response means it can be played at any time. If that set is stagnant instead, that could only be played during your turn. I don't think our decks actually have any stagnant arcanes, which is fun. But this one's really good because it only costs 1 life, and you get rid of the blocking card. And say, for example, my basic buckler here was 3 endurance. Usually both of our cards would be severed, but because neither card takes damage, his weapon would be fine. But yeah, that would get rid of my shield.
Would the Dagger of Blood still be deemed as blocked, or would it deal the damage?
It would be considered as blocking this.
Right, okay. And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Alright, draw and rise. Let's see here. Oh, got me on the ropes, kinda. Let's see here. I will not gain 1 life, spend 1 life, and I'll play a Iron Gauntlet, and let's see, I'll just try to attack with a basic buckler.
I'll block.
Okay, so they would both trade off.
Yep.
Alrighty, and let's see, after that, I'd have to pass the turn. Also, there is a small thing that that can happen in this game. For those watching, if you actually watched the eTableCon live stream a while back, I actually was test playing against Zyphine, also known as HTCG News. And when we were battling, I actually got his life down to exactly 1. And in the game, every card that you play costs either 1 or more. Very rarely will you ever have a time a card costs 0. So he actually couldn't do anything. So I'm just going to deem that as a life lock. But yeah, it's pretty interesting how stuff like that can happen. So when the life totals gets around 10 or 20, it gets really, really exciting.
Alright, so I'm gonna play Rage King Totem.
Oh, sweet. Finally a character. Alright, so Usually the gold character summons would be in your summon deck. However, the Ragekin Totem has a special effect where you can actually have 4 copies of the card in your deck. It cannot be in the summon deck, however. And you can also summon the card from your hand. And then he also has a really powerful searching effect as well. And then the little number at the bottom, the 1, that's pretty much the same as the Void Summon card. So that's the fatality and endurance of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll attach the Dagger of Blood to it. So it becomes 4.
And then you can also boost up the Ragekin Totem if you search out the card, because that counts as a Ragekin card.
Yeah, so once per turn you may add a different Ragekin card from your body to your hand, so I can use that ability now, yeah?
And then a very important thing is if a card says different, that means it cannot be itself. So you can't search Ragekin Totem off of Ragekin Totem.
Yeah, endless truth. Will I do it that way? Why can I not? Why can I not? It's not showing me what's in the deck. Come on.
It's not showing me. That's weird. Maybe if you click find and then click find 36, maybe.
Yeah, I've clicked on find card and then I've clicked on look at cards. Come on. Doesn't seem to be working.
Well, I think if you hover over find cards, there should be a little number symbol. And if you click on that, it should let you type in something. So I think if you type in the amount of cards in your deck, it should let you.
Yeah, I've done it that way.
Search.
Yeah, I've tried doing it with find card. I've tried doing it with look at cards with custom value, but for some reason.
If needed, you could just draw cards until you get the treasured eggs, and then shuffle them back into the deck. Maybe I could kind of maybe help that out. Anyone in chat have an idea of how Chris can help out the situation? Just be able to search for it.
Yeah, I think it's.
Again, this is way better than the eTableCon live stream. We went to go do an Untap game, and I guess Zyphine's computer crashed a couple minutes in. So, yeah, luckily it's not glitchy like that.
Yeah. Right, I'm just gonna test draw 1 card and just see what happens if I draw 1. Because draw 1's not working either. Let me refresh my page.
Okay.
Let's see if that does anything. Right, so it has drawn 1, so I'm going to put that back on top of the main deck, because I didn't have that before. Now let's see if it works. Find card. There we go. Oh, don't know what happened then. Page just needed a little kick up the arse, I think. Alright, so
Nice.
1 different Ragekin cards. Ooh.
Yeah, and I will say if either of us manage to draw a miracle, that's going to make this game a lot more interesting.
Trying to find one with Ragekin. I've got Iron Blood.
I'd suggest maybe either Stone of Crimson Blood or Treasured Eggs. Or if you just want to go for removal and try to get rid of my Iron Gauntlet, you can search out the Destructive Force of Ragekin, which I think was the card you played a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I'll use Storm of Crimson Blood.
Okay.
And what's it do? Put it into your hand. But I'll just play it straight out of my hand.
Alrighty.
And then I think I'm gonna, let's have a look, see what I'm on 12. I think I'm gonna go for a big shebang and pay. Oh no, because you could still defend with the Iron Gauntlet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you did Destructive Force of Rage, you'd be able to attack, and then yeah. So what you could do is you could have Ragekin Totem, and then you could have the Dagger of Blood detached. You could search out the Destructive Force of Ragekin, attack with both, and then I would only be able to block one. You'd use the Destructive Force of Ragekin to kill to sever off my shield, and then I'd just be taking a bunch of damage. Yeah, but I can let you research if you want to.
Yeah.
Whichever.
That's alright. We'll carry on. So I'll boost up the Ragekin Totem to 4 with the weapon, and then attack with that, so that'll be 4.
Okay. Let's see here. I'll make things interesting. I'll take it so we both have 12.
Okay, and then that'll be me for turn.
Okay. Alright, let's see here. Okay. Alright, this is interesting. So okay. I will play a Ragekin Totem of my own. And I will I'll use his effect to search. Let's search out a copy of the Treasured Eggs. That counts as a Ragekin card. So I'll play that directly from the hand, and then I will pay the 2. And its effect is once per turn I may increase target character summon's rune count by 2 until end of turn. So that will boost up the Ragekin Totem to having a rune count of 3. And then also, if I targeted a Ragekin character summon, I can add a one-handed weapon from my body to my hand.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I will add.
And would that sever the Treasured Eggs then?
What was that?
Would that end up severing the Treasured Eggs when you use it?
Yes, it will. So it'll sever that, and then afterwards I will be able to search. So I will search for, I suppose, the poster child of the deck, going down to a really low 9.
Single numbers.
Yep, and I think, let's see, probably best case scenario for me right now would be to try to divide attack. So I will do, let's see, Ragekin Totem for 3. I will have attack at your Ragekin Totem, that is just at 1, and then I'll have Dagger of Blood attack you for 3.
Yep. 9 apiece.
Which ironically puts us both at 9. Yeah, I've also noticed that throughout playtesting, there's a lot of times where the life totals become equal. So I actually kind of like that a lot, because you never really know who's going to win. It's always kind of back and forth. So
yeah,
I kind of appreciate that gameplay more than something that's one-sided. But with that, I'll pass the turn over to you.
Okay. So would your Ragekin that'll be back down to 1 rune count now, would it? Or is that permanent?
Yes, it would go back down to 1. That is a temporary effect. So just putting some more counters on my other things, just to have them there. Dagger of Blood is at 3, Ragekin's back down at 1, and then Shield is, of course, at
Right, I think I'm a little bit stumped. So I think I'll have to pass the turn.
Okay. Let's see here. Draw a card. Okay. Let's see here. I'm a bit brickish with the hand right now, but I will. I guess. I'll just swing in with the Dagger of Blood for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that will pass the turn.
Right, I think what I'm gonna do is risk 2 more life and throw out an Enchanted Shield of Crimson.
Okay.
That might protect me a little bit.
That's actually really good because that would trade off with my Dagger of Blood if I attack. So. Pretty good.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Draw 1. Okay. Alright, I mean, I do have this. It's not the most optimal way of playing, but I guess I will play from my hand a Tome of Forbidden Knowledge. It's a single-use relic, and its effect is once per turn I can. The secondary effect is once per turn I can send a card from my hand to the void, and then I can have my opponent place one random card from their hand on the bottom. So let's see here. I'll put that to the void, which is face up, so that would be expel.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I can shake a random card, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Left, from my perspective, I'll count that as evens, and then the ones to my right will be odds. I'll just roll, so it will be this one. I shook it. Yep. That's a even trade-off. Awesome. Alrighty, and the question is, should I risk? I guess so. I still have the Rage Ken to, I guess, potentially attack, so I'll just attack in with Dagger of Blood, try to get in that last bit of damage.
Yeah, I'll defend with a shield.
Okay.
I get 7,
So,
and then I gain 1.
so mine would. Let's see. How do I return? Okay, the main deck. Yep. So that would get shuffled back into deck. Wait a second. That's funny. I shuffled it back into the second deck by mistake. Let's see here. So, to the main deck. There we are. And then give that a good shuffle. And then gain 1. Okay. And that will be the end of my turn there.
Okay, let's hope we can draw into something good.
I hope you draw into like the miracle card or whatever it is. Like, that's off the top of my head. That is a response arcane where if you took damage, you can play it. It costs nothing, and then you gain 10 life. So that can put you back in the game. And I'm just gonna say this now. Like I don't have an official ban list or anything, but that's gonna be limited to 1 copy per deck because anything more than that's just gonna be incredibly ridiculous.
Restricted.
Yep.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
I think I'm gonna. Oh, crikey. It's gonna be a gamble because I could attack and hope that you don't draw into a weapon.
Yep. Weapons usually can't attack anyway, so if you do want to attack, yeah, I'd say go for it if you want to.
And I will go for. See, I think I might as well just go for your health because I know you can attack with your Ragekin totem this turn. Even if I went for your Ragekin, you could still throw out a weapon, which, from what I've seen, the vast majority of them have 3 power.
So, are you trying to attack at me then, or the summon card?
To you.
At me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a bit of a risk, and I'll actually block that with my my summon card.
Alright, okay.
Alrighty.
And then it's your turn.
Okay. Alright, so I will draw a card. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I guess I will play Angel's Remnant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will. Let's see here. I will use that to. I will pay 1 life and search for Claws of Crimson. Pay 1 life and play that. Let's see here. Okay, and then I guess just try to swing in for lethal damage.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, lethal.
Awesome. Okay, I had 1 card in my head, and I like trying to save it, but this one is a really fun one. It's a response.
Barrage of blood. When you'll be dealt a direct attack, you may discard a blood. If you may discard a blood type weapon card. Is that as well as the barrage of blood? If you do negate that attack.
Yes.
And deal damage to the attacking player equal to the amount of damage that you would have been dealt. Well, that really would have caught me off guard.
Yeah, so I drew that and I was thinking, okay, well I can try to wait for the attack and then just barrage of blood, but I had that one and I also had Angel's Remnant, so I thought, yeah, I'll just try to attack here. But yeah, that was that game. What did you think of it so far? And if people are watching, what do they think of the game?
Yeah, well, we're quite low on viewers at the moment. I think a bit of a weird one. We seem to be peaking between 2 and 4.
Okay.
So it's not the best live stream I've had, but it's not quiet. It's not dead. So at least there's people watching, which is always good.
Alright. Well, if this video is just uploaded to the channel, I guess just leave a comment down below what you thought of it and just any thoughts on the game, I guess.
Yeah. As far as the deck, it's a lot easier to use. You can definitely tell it's focused towards like newer players and stuff like that. And once you've had a game or two with it, it's something what seems pretty modular. What you can switch cards out with for better cards what you come across. So it does seem like a nice base deck, to start messing, like tinkering about with, if you wanted to start getting into the game, stuff like that. So it's a good deck.
Yeah, and I think actually, oh yeah, I do have it. The first card I ever made of the game, or made for the game, is the Claws of Crimson card.
Yeah.
And the first card I ever had in concept. Let's see, do I have it? Oh, nope. Let's see. I will bring this out. The first card I ever had in concept for the game was a Dagger of Blood, and I've done probably 5 different versions of this, and this deck that we were both playing, I actually had this as the first ever deck of SkyScape, but I just reworked a bunch of effects and kept working on it.
Mm.
So glad to see that the revisions for it are actually looking really good and actually playing really well.
Oh, very good. Right, well, it's bedtime for me now anyway, so I'm gonna have to scoop this deck up, declare you as the winner.
Well,
finish game.
thanks for playing. I'm glad you liked the game.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Not to worry, and hopefully we can try and get another game of Cores in at some point in the week.
Okay.
Right, okay, so I'll end the stream now. And